This is James Luxon for Round 8 Boxing. Delighted to join with Charlie Edwards today. Charlie, how are you, mate?
Yeah, really good. Back in training. Looking forward to my next date. Had some great conversations for what's next. Hopefully be able to announce it over the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm good, man. It's good. It's good to be back in the winnings column, and it's good to be back shining and shining bright. I've got a lot of great exposure from my last fight. I really put in a good performance, one that I've known that I can do for many of years, but it feels like I've got my mojo back, to be honest. It feels like maybe I needed that close points loss where I don't really deem it as a loss because I thought I won it and so did one of the judges on away soil. Maybe it was a kick up the arse I might have needed to get back to a weight where I should have been performing at for many of years. I've been boxing above my weight up in the bantamweight division, albeit I won a European title, um, and other titles at the bantamweight division. I should have always been a super flyweight, So it's good to be back in the right weight division. I'm feeling big and strong and confident at a weight I know I can dominate at.
No, definitely. Look, Charlie, like you said, it's an exciting time for you. I want to sort of go back a little bit and go through what's got you to this exciting time now.
Mm.
So let's go back first of all. What drew you to boxing originally?
So what was that? You just broke up a little bit.
Sorry, what originally drew you to boxing?
Originally drew me to boxing. When I was a kid, I started at age 11, and it's a funny story actually. I used to go around like to work with my dad, my old man, and we always used to stop at a flower pitch stall, and him and his mate used to sit there. The guy was called Jimmy Beckett. God rest his soul. He's passed now, but they used to sit there talking about boxing all the time. And me just being a little kid was just like earwigging in, listening. Do you know what I mean? I was there on a number of times, and I don't know for what in the life of me decided to just one day just spurt out a little boy who I was quite an introvert, quite shy as well. I was just like, Jimmy, can you take me boxing? So sometimes like I don't know, like looking back now, maybe it's always been my destiny to be doing what I'm doing, because there was some inner voice inside of me that told me to ask, and my dad just looked at me, laughed, and he was like, "What?" Like it was a big shock to him. What, you want to go boxing? And I was like, "Yeah." And then Jimmy obviously just went, "Yeah, of course I will, boy. Leave it with me." We went away, didn't think nothing of it. Probably forgot about it at that age. You know what I mean? Like a couple of weeks went past, and then he rang up my dad and got us a connection at Roundshaw ABC Boxing Club, and there was an older guy there called Teddy Ball. God rest his soul as well. He was the owner of the Roundshaw Boxing Club, and it was just a local community boxing club. And then my dad ended up taking me down there for the first like 6 months. He used to just drop me down there twice a week, I think it was, and it was great. I just fell in love with it straight away. I was kind of short, obviously short because I still am short, but I was a bit like puppy fat as a kid. I had like little man boobies like as a kid, and I was I used to enjoy my food a lot. So we just kind of went for fitness to start with. Um, that's what I wanted it to lose weight, and then yeah, and then after a quick succession of only like 6 months in, like, I remember him saying to me, he was like, "You're going to be world champion one day, boy." It feels like a proper little Rocky story, yeah, but it resonated with me, and I really believed, like, at such a young age of 11, that was it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's what I wanted. It was like installed into me from just an very old guy's opinion of seeing a little bit of talent in someone, and the rest was history. Like, so yeah, man. It brings back a memory that I ain't been asked that question for a while. So, yeah, nice one for that. That brings back a nice little childhood memory.
What was that like at 11 years old to be told you're going to be world champion one day? Probably potentially the first time you've been told that someone believes in you, really.
Do you know what? Back then, it was just like it must have been like I was just I took it as blasé, you know what I mean, back then when I was a kid. But looking back now, thinking about it, like I obviously got a very kind of buzz in my soul. I felt something when I got told it. At the time, being a kid, you don't really think much of it. All I remember is being extremely happy and going out the gym buzzing and telling my dad, and then he obviously then had a word with my dad. And my dad sat me down and he was just like, right, boy, if you want to do this, we'll do it properly. If you want to, if you like, obviously, my dad hearing it must have give installed a bit of a dream into him. So it was like, if you want to do this, we're going to do it properly. If you're taking it serious, we're going to take it serious. And me being a kid was just like, yeah, yeah, I want it. I want to be a world champion. I want to. And it was like a manifestation, like put into me from a young age, and I always had that in the back of my mind, you know. And yeah, it was just it's thinking back now as an adult, it's such a surreal experience, you know, because that time doesn't even feel like it happened in a sense. It's that long ago now. Like it's like, did that even happen? But it's the story, and yeah, it's been a mad journey, but I remember just the buzz, the love. My dad pushed me a hell of a way. Like if it weren't for him and his dream and belief of taking things properly, I probably wouldn't have been where I am today, and my brother even wouldn't have been where we are today. Like, so we owe a lot to our old man and all the people we met along the way, because each and every bit of energy and every belief from someone have pushed us to obviously believe in ourselves and inspired us to chase something that, if you look back when you're 11 years of age and out of people looking in, will probably say you're deluded or like, oh, bless him. Yeah, maybe one day. But we had the inner belief and we carried on pushing. So yes, mad actually. You're making me relive it, and I haven't done that for a long time. So yeah, man, I'm grateful for that question.
I like to reflect now, years later, on these sort of things, because you're a different person now to when you was back then, and you'll have a different viewpoint on it.
Yeah,
The prediction was right; it came true. Go back what 7 years ago was it? You won the WBC world title.
yeah,
Um, Take me back to that moment and the emotion of having your arm raised as the world champion for the first time. And did you
do,
think
do
back to
you know
that
what?
victory?
Do you know what? It's same again. It still feels like to this day now. It hasn't happened. It feels like it was a dream, a figment of my imagination. But reality is, it did happen. But I do remember that feeling. On that night, 20,000 people at the O2 Arena. You know, it was an aesthetic feeling. It feels like like when I watch like the Creed movies or the Rocky movies, like it generally feels like that. It feels like I lived my own Rocky movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially because like how my career has kind of unfolded and gone out, and also the Casemiro fight, my first world title fight, and bouncing back, and 2 years later then becoming the champion. It it's weird because even to this day, I still bring myself back to how it kind of happened. But like when I see it now, I see it in a third person. I don't see it through my eyes and what everything. I can see it in my mind how it happened, but from the outside, and that could be because I've watched a lot of the clips and the highlights and stuff, so that's why I probably visualize it like that now. But it was just an out of body experience. Um, it's something that I don't know. It feels like that I was floating. I was ecstatic. It's the highest of highs I've ever felt. Um, and it just felt like a lifetime of work just flashed before my eyes, and it was just the end article at that moment in time. So it was very fulfilling, very um heartwarming, especially with the situation with my mum being very, very ill. And and the promise that I did make to her when she was in the hospital bed. So it was like a yeah, it was like it's hard to say completely. Like it was like I was fulfilling destiny. Like it was like all these things had happened to me, the hardships, the trials, the tribulations, and looking now from a maturer age and a God-fearing and faithful man, it's like all them little things had to happen for me to push and go through the fire to then reap the reward. It's like it feels like, without sounding a bit crazy and mad, that like it's like my mum sacrificed herself for my dream, sort of thing. And that sounds really like crazy and mad to think like that, but it's like all that situation that happened and her carry on fighting through the time and time again of like going into intensive care, saying goodbye to her, it pushed me to a different level, which made me think if my mum can do that, I can achieve anything. If she's still here today when she really shouldn't be, mate, I'm going to get that world title. I don't care what anyone says about me, or I failed once already. I'm fucking going to get it. And my mind was so locked on it that the feeling that come after, it was just like an out of body experience. It was madness.
This might sound like a strange question to some people, but you might understand where I'm coming from. Obviously, you said there it's the highest of highs, and you feel like you fulfilled your destiny that night, winning that world title. But with every high comes a low. Was there a low in winning the world
Mm.
title for you?
Yeah, massively. My whole world fell apart. So although it was my biggest achievement, I wasn't mature enough. I didn't understand what it brought. My mental health took a massive hit. I was just this gym rat kid who lived in the gym and just done nothing but boxing, missed out on all social experiences growing up through kids because I was so super focused. My dad kept us on it as well. To then be chucked in an overnight success with my being a flyweight, I was the first flyweight to bring light to the division, and it come off the back of my mum being terminally ill, like being ill, and it was like it was weird because everywhere I went after that, I could not go anywhere without people bringing my mum up, and I struggled with it for a very long time, and she had been ill for like a long time before that, but it was kind of like my private. I didn't like to. It was our family private kind of problem that we was dealing with. We didn't make it public. We didn't really want it to be public until Eddie Hearn brought it out at a press conference because he knew a bit more thing, and it was a bit like daunting with me on that press conference where kind of got me nearly started crying before the Rosales fight at the press conference. So, and then the media got it, and it kind of blew out all into proportion. And everywhere I went, I struggle with it now, like even being when I'm around my mum, and back then when I just won the world title, and then I was going everywhere, but everyone kept asking my mum, and she wasn't really getting any better because she's had stroke, she's had bad, like it's bad what's happened to her, and brain bleeds and stuff. So everyone's asking, "Is your mum better? Is your mum good? Is your mum good?" And it was a constant reminder for me, which really took an impact on my mental health because I would just be like, "Yeah, yeah, she's good. Yeah, yeah, she's good. Yeah, yeah." And it was just like I didn't know how to control my emotions and feelings towards my mum getting terminally ill, and it really not feeling like she was the same person as I knew my mum when she was not disabled, to then be reminded about it everywhere I went, and to get so much like limelight about it and well known because of it. It took a hit on me. And so I I weren't mature enough I was so naive to the world, and I got caught up in when I was world champion being distracted and trying to run away, and the pressure was real. I become a bit of a pessimist. So even though I was sitting there world champion with it in my house and that the belt up there, WBC, the best belt there is in boxing, in my opinion. Um, I sat there and I was started thinking like, I'm not good enough to be world champion, and that hit me mentally and impacted me. And I was started like having these like little devil on the shoulder, trying to chip away at my confidence. And you're not good enough. Like you're not like how are you in the same boat as like Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, all these names like who you've looked up to for so many years, and now you're world champion. You're in that club, and you fucking know you're not even any good. Like I don't know how you even blagged and in my head. And then I started reading into social media a lot more, and I started, I don't know, maybe so anxious that I started drinking a lot more, and it kind of destroyed me. I lost myself for a good few years, a good few years I lost myself, and the pressures of the limelight and this. Although I was like so happy I achieved my life learning dream, I felt empty when I got there because I was sitting around thinking, right, now what? Because I just thought, get to a world title. I put in all my energy and all my focus into it. That as soon as I got that, I would be happy. But my life was so unbalanced outside of it. I put everything into just chasing it, and I didn't have no my family weren't very close. I didn't have no partner. Like I didn't have no private life really. It was just boxing, 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 and then the social aspect took over. And then I got caught up on the wave where you're getting kind of pulled from pillar to post, and you don't really know where to put yourself, and you're just like kind of just going along. And then I was making a weight where I shouldn't have been at anyway, but I took risks to be there, which I won the world title at. And then it was like I had a quick fight, and it was just like I was like in a yo-yo effect. So although it was mad, it destroyed me as well. But now, luckily enough, I was young, and I had to go through all them trials and tribulations. But now I'm in my peak years now. I'm mature. I'm ready to win another world title. I'm ready to fucking rule as well and go up and up weights. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking to chase legacy now. Like I'm 32, but I'm so young, and because I was only fighting once a year because of the struggles and everything I went through, which is quite well documented because I was getting messed around for so long by numerous of people. My career was stagnant, but I stayed in the gym and stayed fresh, and I've kind of like I'm 32, but I'm super fit. There's no one fitter than me. There's no one who can move their feet like me. My reactions, everything are on point. I feel younger today as a 32-year-old than I did when I was a 25-year-old world champion with all my head all over the place.
What was the turning point for you, Charlie, to get back on the right road?
Um, I mean, I've got to be very thankful and really like my faith has really come into it now. Like I've started I'm a very faithful man now. I've started cleaning up my life. To be honest, I say it and it can sound as cringy as you want, but my wife saved me. When I met her was when I vacated the title for after the controversial shit that I had with Julius Caesar Martinez, being hit on the floor and him also failing a drugs test. But I couldn't make that weight. I was cooked at that weight. Like I think if you go back and look at the pictures, mate, I look like I'm an an AIDS victim or something. I look really, really ill. And so God that happened. Then I vacated the title. And then I went on to like kind of I lost my head, mate, for like a month and a half. I was drinking like nearly every day, like going out, just partying, like running away from everything, just on like self-destruct mode, sticking my fingers up to everyone. But I was just killing myself because I was on self-destruct. And then I met my wife. Um, so after that, in 2018, after August, a month and a half after, I met my girlfriend at the time. She was, but now she's my wife, and yeah, she brought me back, man. And it's been a long journey, you know. It's been a very, very long journey of ups and downs and battling myself and that. But she's been very supportive, and she changed me for the better.
Absolutely. Let's go on to sort of mindset and motivation before a big fight. What's your mental preparation like? Do you work with any sports psychologists? Do you use any mental techniques?
Oh, I'm lucky and blessed. My wife is studied in sports psychiatrist and cognitive behavioral therapist. So when I say I owe a lot to her, mate, she's been working on me ever since we met. Like it's like God sent her my way. She's like my guardian angel. Like I don't care if that sounds like cringy in what way that is. That's how it is. Like I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the man I am today, and I wouldn't be the fighter I am today if it weren't for her. You know. And although I haven't, I still believe like the things I do in training. Yeah. I can openly say this. I am an unbelievably special talent, and people haven't seen it in the ring. I haven't hit it to that level of what I can do. And I'm still 32. I've been a world champion. And I know when I get it all right on the night, the things that I'm going to do in that boxing ring, people are going to finally stand up and drop like, wow. So um, when I'm in there doing the mentally preparing things for my training, I'm lucky because my partner is is my rock. Do you know what I mean? And we speak about everything. She's also studied in nutrition as well, so it goes hand in hand with everything of my career. So we met, and it was like the best thing for probably both of us. So we just got on with the thing, and the rest is going to be history. But like when I do also do a lot like I read a lot. Like these last 5 years, I really turned into a bookworm. I study a lot. I read a lot of like psychological books and sports books where it is helping the mindset. So I'm always programming myself. I'm always learning. I'm a student to the game. You know, I live the life. I write a lot of my stuff down. I write my feelings, emotions, everything. Every time I go away in camp, I have my own little book every camp, and I write the fight date, the thing, and I document everything, how I'm feeling, how I'm sparring, what I'm doing. So I've really gone in on a lot of self work. You know, self love is the most important of it all. You know, and every fighter needs to be programming their mind and needs to keep on learning new things. Like if you're not reading and you're not like doing things to work on your mindset and your brain, sitting there scrolling all the time, no wonder like we do fuck ourselves because like really as humans we're not supposed to be doing that. So the mindset is is the most important thing in this boxing game. And when your mind's right and you're doing everything in your power to chase the dreams that have been installed from you from the man upstairs, mate, no wonder all this magic ends up happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm a bigger advocate for men's mental health, women's mental health. It's a thing for everyone, you know. And in sport, like we're in a gladiatorial sport of boxing. Like we're not. It's not like going to play chess or like checkers. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's power, it's pain. It's like we can get in there and be different when we come out. You know, so it's important that all us fighters are working in the right manner to give ourselves confidence to fight properly. So yeah, I do a lot. I do a hell of a lot, and yeah, like I said, I just live my life day to day for boxing. Like I live and breathe boxing and my family. That is all I do. So I have gone in more. I've even started puzzling. As mad as that sounds. Yeah, my last camp I bought a puzzle. Like my missus has been on me to do it for ages, yeah. And I kept putting it off, like because it was like I bought it and it took me like 4 or 5 days to actually open the box and do it because like you feel like, I don't want to be crap at this. Oh, but then I started doing it and I started puzzling, getting it like things, started seeing things, and you just like, I'm sure it helped my boxing. As mad as that sounds, because I'm seeing things. I'm seeing things. I'm eye hand coordinations. I'm off my phone. I'm having that free headspace of like just focusing, and it's all that kind of stuff makes you a better fighter. Everything that happens to you in life makes you a better fighter. It's not just the training; it's everything, the bigger picture that makes you a good fighter in the ring. And, and yeah, so all these little things. I think like when I used to look at like Usyk and Lomachenko doing all these mad drills, I used to think, oh, they're just doing that for the cameras, but they're not. It's not. It's everything that goes into the fight, and yeah. So yeah, I do a lot of it.
You said there, Charlie, about in the gym, you're special. Your talent is special. You just haven't transitioned that into the ring yet on fight night. Why is that? Do you feel pressure come fight night?
No, I don't. I feel like I'm my own puzzle, and I feel like obviously I performed great in a lot of my fights. I still wouldn't be where I am. Do you know what I mean? But I just know how much more there is to come. And I believe when I was younger, even when I become world champion, yeah, I used to fight on fear. I used to fight on fear. Like I used to be like anxious. I've had panic attacks before I've gone into rings. Like, do you know what I mean? Like even after my Martinez situation, my first comeback back up at bantamweight, I had a mad panic attack before I went out to fight, and I still went out to fight. So like, I feel like this long journey that I've been on, and I have been in quite like with the Casemiro thing. It was too early for me to fight like him, a person like that. When I look back now, and he could bang like I'm telling you, hit like a horse. Like hit by far the hardest person I've ever been hit off, and I still stayed there to the 11th round. And I just fought on remote control, like on survival. I think that got me to that before I got stopped in that fight. And but aftermath of that, I feel like that caused me quite a lot of trauma, that fight. Like I feel like caused me like some PTSD or something, trauma. Because then when I was getting in the ring, I was scared of always that could happen to me. Then obviously I got through that. I fought Rosales. My head was in the right place. I boxed a punch pump perfect fight. Then after that, the weight cutting and that. Then I went to the Martinez fight. I was on death's door at that weigh-in. Death's door. Like I don't even know how I done it, and it was really tragic. And then that caused me like trauma and PTSD sort of thing off the back of that. Then I found out he was on drugs. So then in my head, I'm going into fights thinking every cunt's on drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like it's been a very much many years of like this mind fucking battling against me, like going into fights feeling fear, feeling like what could happen to me, because I've been in like traumatic experiences, but I still push through and still come through the other side. So like where I'm at now, like I feel like between the ages of 25 to like 30, then 5 years were the hardest years that I had to deal with a lot up here. Where now I'm 32, I'm mature, I've got a family, I've got my life set up, I'm living good, like I'm balanced. I'm not doing all the negativity and not having negative energy around me. I feel like my faith and I'm closer to God now. So it's like my head is like at Zen now. So now I feel like I'm only gonna get to like the best performances of me. So I feel like at now, like I don't fight on fear. Like it's weird. Like even the maddest experience I can extend when I walked to Andrew Kane fight, yeah, and he is a big monster banger, this and that. There was obviously like I had him back in my mind. Is he like like look at the shape of him, look at the size of him for a bantamweight. Like I had like these thoughts in the back of my mind that kept playing tricks on me, which is probably why I didn't pull the trigger as much as I could have. Even though I thought I won the fight, had I had footbox even like I did in my last fight and pulled the trigger more, I'd have won easy against him. But I had these demons in the back of my mind. It was just not letting me. And I walked to the ring, and it was just like there was no buzz in me. I was like, this is weird. What's wrong with me? Like, first arena fight in 5 years, and it's not the same. And yeah, it was a weird experience. And then I was like, after the fight, I realized that. I'm not scared no more. I walked to the ring and I weren't scared, and yet in the ring I just couldn't pull the trigger. And yeah, it just there was just something on the night where I couldn't pull the trigger as much as I should have done. And then I started assessing it on the aftermath, and I was like, "Do you know what? I defeated myself. It was these demons in my mind that not allow me to be the best Charlie Edwards because I'm thinking about all this crap that doesn't even exist. Like it's just demons that have brought up from my shit that I've been through in the past." And I was like, I remember it because I was sparring Jordan Flynn, who's a featherweight, yeah, and Zizzo, who's like a a super lightweight. And I started going to spar them, and I got it again, but in the first few thing, and I thought, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing this no more in my head. I said, I'm just gonna give it my all and do my best that I can. I was like, I'm not gonna allow my mind to make me a less better person than I am. I said, it's now time to have faith in the man upstairs. I give everything to this sport and I do everything in my power to be the best version. The only thing that's letting me down is the stupid things in my head that don't even exist. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna give it. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen has already happened to me. So now it's time to just ride with it, just go out there and give it my all and give it my best. And then I started sparring great. And my last fight, I was on fire. The best performance, probably could even say it was a better performance than Rosales fight. And now it's going to be like that from now on. So it was weird. It's like a switch has just switched. It's like everything and all this shit that I've been dealing with here. I was just like, nah, what's the point? I'm mature. It's like I matured all of a sudden, and it's just a penny dropped. So that's why I feel like the best days are yet to come. I'm right. Like I know what I am. I'm experienced. I've been in every sort of boxing ring problem I've had to deal with, and I've come out and I've been fine. So now I've got a lot of experience. I'm still fresh. I'm still young. Uh, um, and I feel young in mind, body, and soul, and my performance is showing it. And now I know what I'm capable of, and I feel like a dangerous man.
Just to finish off, Charlie, on a positive, I'm gonna go back to something you mentioned at the start of the call, and that is you're now doing this for legacy. How do you want to be remembered
Mm.
in boxing?
How do I want to be remembered in boxing? A guy that took his chances, no matter what anybody thought the outcome was. I took the chances. I took the shot. I wanted to fight the best. Like I want to fight Bam Rodriguez. Like call me deluded. Like I've said it out there. I think he's the best in the division. I want to fight the best. Why wouldn't you? If I didn't want to fight the best, what am I doing in the sport? Like I've earned money. I've got a good life, but I want to push limits. I want to become a freeweight world champion. Like I wanna I wanna be able to know that I give it everything. Do you know? And what's the worst that can happen? You can fail. If you're scared of failing, what really are you? If you want to be the best, you've got to be deluded. You've got to think you can do it. You've got to believe you can do it. So, like, I just want to be known as like to be honest, yeah, it's not really I want to be known as anything because it's not really like now where I am, it's not about fame. It's not about what what other people think of me. It's more when I retire, I want to know I give it everything and I want no regrets. I've lived with regrets of how I've done things in the past with my weight and losing my mind and being distracted. I've lived with regrets for a very long time, and I'm at a stage now where I give it everything. I cut no corners. I'm living such a clean life. I'm living a healthy life. So I know now everything stepping forward, there's going to be no regrets because I think regret is the worst thing you can live with forever. I've lived with it for a long time, which it really suffered me. So it's more about what I think of myself when I retire. I think for my mental health and for Charlie Edwards to be the best person he can be to his family, his wife, his daughter is knowing that I give it everything.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing no one can take away from you, you'd always be remembered as you've been a world champion, regardless what happens from here on now between now
Mm.
and you retire. Charlie, thank you very much for being open, honest, and thanks for your time, mate. Appreciate it.
No, nice one, mate. I appreciate it, and yeah, you took me down memory lane there, and it was a very nice interview. So thank you.
No worries at all. Top man, thank you.